Welcome to the Charlie Stubbs Show, featuring the head coach of the Nicholls State University football team, Charlie Stubbs. Today's program is presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. The Charlie Stubbs Show is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. Good afternoon and welcome to the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. We're coming to you on the heels of the biggest win for Nicholls in recent history as the Colonels knocked off Western Michigan of the Football Bowl subdivision back on Saturday night in Kalamazoo. We're joined now by the head coach of the Colonels, Charlie Stubbs. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Been a long time in coming. You got to have just a great feeling right now heading into the matchup with Lafayette this Saturday.
Yeah, I felt like we made some progress in the Oregon game. I know the score wasn't exactly, definitely what we didn't want, but I saw some glimpses there, and I think the kids drove some confidence from that game in the way of seeing that if we can put some things together. And I thought that on Saturday night against Western Michigan, we came through in all three phases. We weren't perfect, but again, we fed off each other and we played really a team game.
Yeah, people shouldn't get the wrong impression. This game, for those who have been following this program, this win didn't come out of nowhere. I know some people around the country would think that. We saw this. We saw this was a possibility going in. We even talked about it last week.
Yeah, well, I knew that they weren't Oregon, but they are a very solid football team. I was highly concerned because they had played Michigan State, tooth and nail, a real defensive battle. But I also, as we played throughout the game, we had a great start. We also had some adversity during the game. And normally in these situations with our program right now is that we don't handle adversity very well. But we, had the lead, could have even extended on the lead a little bit more than what it was at halftime. But we progressed and then they regained the lead. And that's normally the time when, what happens here? Do we just get off the field and it's a moral victory? We played them tough. But no, our guys, competed. We regained the lead. We even extended the lead more. And then we even made the play near the end of the game to seal it.
Well, let's take you to Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo into the locker room before the game.
We need everybody locked in. Do not get distracted by people behind the stands. Stay focused on what we're doing. Encourage your teammates all the way through. It will be a 4-quarter plus game. I can tell you that right now. But we're going to win it in the fourth quarter. You understand that? Every one of you guys. Everyone. Okay, be ready to go. We'll go out in just a minute.
And those words would hold true. The Colonels would win this in the fourth quarter. A crowd of about 23,000, the biggest crowd expected for the year to see the home debut of Western Michigan head coach P.J. Fleck, and the Colonels were ready to rock and roll. This was Nicholls' third trip to Kalamazoo in 4 years. Many of the veteran players said this felt like a home game. Well, it wouldn't take long for the Colonels to get going as they quiet the crowd against a defense that allowed just one touchdown last week. Opening drive, 5 plays, 73 yards. Marcus Washington in for the 8-yard score. The drive took just over 2 minutes. On the ensuing kickoff from Andrew Dolan, Bronco return man John Henry hauls it in his own 3 and gets upended by Seth Keller, one of 2 special teams tackles for him, and the red and gray came ready for this one. First and 10 at the Western Michigan 27. Tyler Van Tubergen sacked by Chris Berman. He had 5 tackles, 2 of them for lost yardage. Western Michigan was forced to punt. At the 4:14 mark, Kalen Henderson fakes the handoff and takes it in from 2 yards away. It's a 6-play, 88-yard drive set up by Henderson's 55-yard run moments earlier. 14-0 Colonels. Western Michigan does get on the board early second quarter. Andrew Haldeman notches the 42-yarder. Now, it looked like the Colonels were going to strike back right after this. They go 65 yards in just 5 plays, and it appears that Washington scores here, but after review, he was ruled to have fumbled the ball before crossing the goal line. It's a touchback, take the points off the board. Still 14-3. That moment of happiness here is short-lived. Nicholls does force WNU into a 3-and-out, and they get it back, but 9 minutes before halftime, Henderson tosses Nicholls' first interception of the season. Donald Seliskar, the reigning MAC West Defensive Player of the Week, with the pick. WNU goes 79 yards in 8 plays, capped by Brian Fields' 2-yard touchdown run on first and goal. It's 14-9 in favor of Nicholls. But Western Michigan would botch the ensuing extra point. The holder, Desmond Bozeman, throws it away. That would turn out to be big in the end. Western would surprise the Colonels with an onside kick after this, and they recovered with a chance to take the lead before halftime here. But for the Colonels, senior TJ Lumar comes up with a pick. He returns it 12 yards to the Western Michigan 45. It was his second career NIT against the Broncos. 5 minutes and change to go before halftime now. On first down, Kalen Henderson looking for his big play target, Eric Buchanan, and he would find him here in stride. It's a 41-yard connection to the Western Michigan 14. Buchanan with 3 receptions on the night, totaling 72 yards. That pass would set up this 4-yard touchdown run by Marcus Washington, his second official score of the evening. It's 21-3 Colonels. Western Michigan looking for some points before the break. 4th and 4 at the Nichols 23. Van Tubingen looking for Timmy Keep, and Byron Cobb breaks it up at the goal line. So far this year for the Colonel defense, 4 stops on 4th down. Nichols gets it back with about 2 minutes remaining, looking to make something happen. Henderson takes off on first down, and this was tough to watch. Kalen suffers a fractured fibula as he's tackled by Jarrell McKinney. Third-string quarterback Toscani Figueroa was forced into action. Bo Avery missed this game with concussion symptoms, so Nichols would go into the locker room up 21-3, but reeling from the injury from their playmaker, Kalen Henderson. That's tough to watch here at this point, and again, you start getting the feeling, knowing what's happened the last couple of years, oh boy, here we go again. But this time around, the Colonels avoided that.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but Kalen, he's such a impact player on our team, such a veteran player too, coming from Tulsa. So he handled the situation good, said some positive comments to the guys. Even when Toscani went in, he said, "Toscani, let's go, lead them to a victory." So, and Toscani, we had been preparing hard. I was hoping to redshirt him, but unfortunately things have happened. So the thing about it, though, I guess if there's any time, we were able to go in at halftime and talk about the approach and the things that I was going to do and get him to execute for our offense.
Third-string quarterback on the road against an FBS team. Let's take you inside the locker room during halftime.
Right now, you got to put in your mind it's 0-0. You can't put in, we got a little buffer zone or anything like that. Be aggressive on defense, be aggressive on special teams, and offense, be aggressive. You understand that? We can win this football game and win it going away. You deserve it. But play smart. Play smart.
Unfortunately, it was Western Michigan that got the jump in the third quarter. 8 plays, 75 yards in just over 2 minutes. Darian Chance scores here from the 1. It's 21-16. You wonder if Nichols can hang on. Late third quarter, Western gets good starting field position, and Fields caps a quick drive with a 10-yard run to pay dirt. Nichols trails for the first time, 23-21 Broncos. More bad news on the next drive. 2nd and 9 for the Nichols 46. And play action coming up here. This was the touchdown previously that gave Western Michigan the lead. Figueroa looking deep here for Buchanan. Now it's incomplete, and Eric hurts his ankle. He would limp off the field. It's really, at this point, gut check time for the Colonels. On the next play, you talk about a gut check. 3rd and 9. Figueroa in all sorts of trouble. He scrambles here, gets a block or two, and then makes the rest happen by himself. He picks up 10 yards and the first down to keep the drive alive heading into the fourth quarter. Nichols would get it down to the 12, and Andrew Dolan notches a 29-yard field goal, giving Nichols a 24-23 advantage with 11:19 to go. Western Michigan with the ball back. 3rd and 4 coming up at the Colonel 43. They hand it off to Fields, and Ronald Tyler runs him down for a loss of 1. The Broncos are forced to punt with under 8 minutes to go. Tyler had 5 tackles on the day. Nichols goes 3 and out. Western gets it back. Nichols gets it done again on 3rd down, batting down the pass at the line of scrimmage. After the punt, 2nd and 10 at the 20. Big play. Figueroa to Thibodeau native Damon Bolt for 55 yards as he beats Justin Curry. Bolt's only catch of the night, but it loomed large. It sets up a 28-yard field goal here for Dolan. That gives Nichols a 4-point lead with just 1:44 to go. Western was forced to burn their timeouts. They had none left. Scary here. Watch Jeremiah Thomas drag down near the line of scrimmage. Van Tubingen gets out of bounds. Thomas appears to be seriously hurt. They would have to bring out a neck brace and a stretcher. Great to see, though, he would give the four-quarter sign to his team as he was wheeled away. Thomas, fortunately, is only going to miss a week or two with a back and neck injury. Western continued their drive at the Nichols 24, under a minute left. Van Tubingen goes for the end zone. Josh Dewey picks it off, securing the victory. Toscani Figueroa goes 2 of 7 for 66 yards in the air, 15 carries for 72 yards on the ground. Nichols beats an FBS program with their third-string quarterback playing for over a half. That's practically unheard of. The celebration begins. 27-23 is your final. Nichols pulls the upset. Henderson goes 8 of 11 before the injury, 159 yards and a touchdown through the air, 6 of 85, a TD on the ground. Marcus Washington, 65 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. This was just a thrilling night for Nichols football, Coach.
Yeah, it was. It was exciting. Now we need to capitalize and build off of it.
What comes next at this point for y'all?
Well, the biggest thing what we did was after the victory, and then we handled it Monday morning when we watched the video of the game and made the corrections. We wanted them to enjoy it, but when we arrived Monday afternoon at 2:15, it was all Louisiana-Lafayette. So now what we're doing is, again, practicing smart. We played 2 very physical teams already this year. So we got to get some guys healed up a little bit with the bumps and bruises, and so that we can go in as full strength as we possibly can. But we know it's going to be another hostile environment. We've been in it the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's been wall-to-wall loud and, absolutely for their team. So I feel like we'll have a very good representation there at the game, from a lot of the Nichols supporters. And so we appreciate that. Hope they all come out. But again, we just need another great week of preparation, because I tell them you don't win the games on Saturday at 6 o'clock. You win the games during the week.
Well, I know you didn't have much in time to enjoy it. Rather, that's just the nature of the business, but the fans certainly did, and that win has gotten a lot of attention from around the country. We're going to hold that with us for a while now. The Colonels matchup at Louisiana-Lafayette this Saturday will be shown live on ESPN3. Coverage starts at 6. You can also listen on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. Our flagship station, KLRZ 100.3 FM, has you covered in New Orleans and the Tri-Parishes. Their sister station, KLEV 1600 AM, broadcast to South Lafourche and Grand Isle. They'll both carry the Colonel Countdown beginning at 5:30, followed by the Colonels and the Cajuns. LA 106.3 Rock Hits Radio begins the day with the Colonel Insider at 3:30. They'll also carry the game live. Folks, we will be right back with more of the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm, in a moment.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to contact your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
We welcome you back to the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm. Nichols coming off a big win over Western Michigan. Let's take a quick look at results from the rest of the Southland Conference. In Lake Charles, 18th-ranked McNeese State piled up 528 yards of offense, cruising past Arkansas Pine Bluff 58-14 in their home opener. Walter Payton Award candidate Timothy Flanders moved into second place on the all-time Southland rushing list in fourth-ranked Sam Houston's 65-28 loss to FBS number 7 Texas A&M in College Station. 3 interceptions, 2 of them returned for touchdowns, aided Colorado and outlasting number 7 Central Arkansas 38-24 in a competitive affair in Boulder. Southeastern Louisiana played nationally ranked ECU very tough in the first half, but the 24th-ranked Horned Frogs scored 21 straight points to pull away for a 38-17 victory in Fort Worth. Northwestern State's home debut under new head coach and former Nichols head coach Jay Thomas was a success QB Zach Atkins threw for 331 yards and 3 scores as the Demons dominated Southern 55-14 in Natchitoches. Texas Tech's offense proved to be too much for Stephen F. Austin, 66-13 the final in Lubbock. Louisiana Tech escaped with a 27-14 decision over Lamar as the Cardinals made some key mistakes. Future Southland football member Abilene Christian overpowered crosstown rival McMurray 60-17, and in a record-setting performance, Incarnate Word beat up on visiting Texas College 69-0 in San Antonio for the program's first win as an NCAA Division I member. Well, with Nichols struggling to get results the last couple of seasons, head coach Charlie Stubbs decided to take action. It's paid off almost immediately. Amanda Kelly has more.
The Nichols football team has endured some hard times the last 2 years, and changes were needed. With a veteran core of players returning, joined by a talented class of transfers, Coach Stubbs enlisted the services of several new coaches this season to bring out the best in his Colonels. After a relentless effort against Oregon and a victory over an FBS school, Western Michigan, on Saturday, he's proven to have made the right choices. These additions to the staff have brought in newfound energy along with fresh perspectives. Judging by the early success of the team, the players are benefiting from the changes.
Well, I feel very strong about that. I really feel like our coaches should be role models and something that the players should look up to. So I hold the coaches to a very high standard, and they know that. But I really believe the players are responding to them, will play hard. They know that they come to work every day prepared, and they're prepared in their meetings for them. So I really believe that they're bonding well.
Not only have these new coaches brought winning experiences, but their local ties make them extra valuable. New tight ends coach Brandon Nowlin, a Baton Rouge native, has coached at several area high schools and is familiar with the Southland from a title-winning stint at Central Arkansas. While a student athlete at LSU, Nowlin earned a national title in 2003. So did new defensive line coach Brandon Washington, who is looking to bring winning expectations back to Nichols.
You know, I'm the type of person that believes that life is full of opportunities, and it's the perfect opportunity, you know, for me to coach at the major level, as well as it's a perfect opportunity to be a part of a group of people who can restore and bring back this program and get it better. So I look forward to the challenge. I'm not intimidated by it. You know, it's a lot of work, and we got a lot of work to do, but I think I'm the right person for it.
Success, you know, sometimes it's measured in wins and losses. Sometimes it's measured in things outside of that. And really, there's all varying forms of success. What I believe success is when you have prepared and done everything that you possibly could do to put yourself in a situation to go have that success. And that's about, you know, when hopefully you play well and things like that throughout the course of a game to go out there and make the plays that you need to win and all that stuff. But really, you got to prepare and do all the right things just to have a chance on Saturday, because those guys are preparing too. But if you don't do that, you don't even give yourself a chance.
The transition has gone smoothly thus far, and the staff has leaned on each other heavily in learning the best ways to interact with and push each player.
Well, the number one thing, and it's not necessarily coaching, but it's just dealing with people, that Coach Lockway taught me was you got to coach every player differently. And everybody has different personalities, and they have different things that get them going. And that probably helps me the most dealing with, we got a guy from Pittsburgh. I'm from Chicago, and I got to learn how to deal with a guy from Pittsburgh, a guy from South Louisiana. And then you got other guys from across the country just learning their personalities. And my players think it's weird that after practice I go in and I write down the things that help me coach them better. Some guys don't respond to me yelling at them. There's some guys that respond to me yelling at them. That's the only thing that they respond to. And there's other guys where I just have to give them a look, and they know what's going on.
While 4 fresh faces were brought on board, a familiar one remains, albeit in a new role. Matt Clark coached the tight ends last season, but with the hiring of Nowlin has transitioned to mentoring the offensive line. He's been enjoying the added weight and responsibility that comes with the position.
Well, it's just I think it's a little bit more integral part, because obviously there's going to be those 5 linemen on the field at all times, whereas you might not have a tight end on the field all the time. So I think it's a little bit more important of a role, just in the fact that they've got to be out there. There's nothing you can do. They have to be there. And really, I think everything in this game starts up front on the offensive and defensive line. So, you know, if we're not successful, I don't think we'll be successful as an offense.
It seems thus far that everyone in the program, from the head coach on down, have been pleased with the changes.
Well, first of all, Matt Clark, I elevated him. He was our tight end coach, so I promoted him to our offensive line position. So that was a nice transition right there. So again, made a few changes, not forcefully. Some of them went on to other positions, and maybe got some full-time responsibility elsewhere. But I added Brandon Washington as our defensive line coach, and he brings a lot of experience, and he's well known in the state, playing at LSU. So he brings a great energy and expertise in his position and is helping our players tremendously. Then I added Brandon Nowlin, and Brandon's our tight end coach, and he also comes with a lot of experience in coaching. And again, he was a former LSU player, but also a former head coach at the high school level and also athletic director. So he brings in maturity and leadership, very knowledgeable. And so I feel like those three young men joining our staff has only enhanced our staff.
New special teams coach Steve Adams has his units playing to a high level as well. It's clear that the Colonels are responding to a new message and that this recent infusion of renewed spirit could have long-lasting positive effects for the Red and Gray. For the Charlie Stubbs Show, I'm Amanda Kelly.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Back here with you in the locker room. The Colonels getting ready for their matchup at UL-Lafayette this Saturday at 6 p.m. The Raging Cajuns are 0-2 with a 34-14 loss at Arkansas, followed by a 48-27 defeat at Kansas State. Their offense very anemic until the second half of the matchup with the Wildcats. Darryl Surgent has been named the Sun Belt's Conference Special Teams Player of the Week, after a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Quarterback Terrence Broadway finished 18 for 30 for 193 yards and a touchdown this Saturday, and he ran 13 times for 42 yards and a score. But Broadway had just 31 yards passing and 14 on the ground in the first half on Saturday as the Cajuns fell behind big. Head coach Charlie Stubbs here beside us. What do you make of this Cajun club so far this year?
Well, again, it's they've got a very good team. They've got their program ready, headed in a great direction. Two-time bowl team. So we look at those opponents. They played a real challenging schedule thus far too, and they're going to be excited to be at home. They're very athletic. So that it'll be a major task again for us. But we're excited about it. We're excited. A lot of our players know their players, because a lot of them are Louisiana kids. So we're excited about the opportunity.
You went there last time, and if not for a third-quarter turnover, things might have turned out differently. And now this is a different Colonel Ball Club, and you're riding sky high right now. I would imagine this is going to be a very competitive affair here.
Yeah, I'm excited about the game. I know the players are. We just got to prepare very well.
All right, Coach. Well, there are plenty of ways to keep up to the minute with Nichols Athletics. Find our new Instagram page at instagram.com/ColonelSports. We're at youtube.com/NicholsAthletics, facebook.com/GoColonels, and twitter.com/ColonelSports. This is the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to contact your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
We welcome you back to the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm. It's time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. Rouse's Supermarkets are local, with their roots established in Thibodaux in 1923. Louisiana's best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week, it's a three-headed monster: Toscani Figaro, Caleb Henderson, and TJ Lumar. Additionally, TJ was named the Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week and the Louisiana Sports Writers Association Defensive Player of the Week, while the nationally broadcast Tim Brando Show named Toscani their weekly Hambone Award winner. Folks, elsewhere around Nichols Athletics this weekend, the men's and women's cross-country teams head to the Rice Invitational. That's tomorrow in Houston. The volleyball team is slated to play 4 matches in 2 days at the Hampton Inn Bama Bash, including a match against the host Crimson Tide tomorrow. And the soccer team puts its undefeated record on the line against Alcorn State tomorrow at 4 p.m. here in Thibodaux. The team, they beat the Raging Cajuns Monday night and are off to their best start in program history at 5-0-1. Folks, you can keep up with all 14 of our athletic programs here by going to our official website, GoColonels.com. That's G-E-A-U-X, GoColonels.com. You'll find rosters, bios, stats, schedules, everything you need to keep up with Nichols Athletics throughout the course of the year. It's all right there on our website, GoColonels.com. Charlie Stubbs Show here, presented by State Farm as we wrap things up this week, taking on the Cajuns on Saturday. What is this team feeling like right now? Can you get a good mindset for where you're at?
Well, we're just getting into the meat of the practices, but I feel very good about them. They're preparing. We have what we term the huddle system, which is our video system where we can study opponents, and so they're spending time studying them. Their games and getting to know. I tell them the more that you know about your opponent, the more that you watch, the more you'll recognize things better out there on the field, and you'll play faster. And that's what it's going to take Saturday night. We have got to play fast, we got to play hard, and we got to make plays.
We've got about 45 seconds left, Coach. This has been a tough couple of years. There's been no doubt about it. Coming back from Kalamazoo, was there any sense of just relief on your part that you know now that this program's heading in the right direction?
Well, I mean, I feel like it was anyway because of just the transition we had to do. As I mentioned numerous times, when you take over a program with 56 players, and they might not be all 56 that you wanted, now we got it up to 110, so that took time. You can't do it any faster according to NCAA rules. Then the next thing, we've got them going to class and graduating, which is a major thing. Our APR is ranked 2nd in the Southland Conference and 3rd overall of all football playing schools in the state of Louisiana, which it wasn't like that in the past. And then I felt like we could always be a more competitive team, but what's happened to the program here is, unfortunately, is injuries take over, and that is part of the game. But I feel like over the past few years we've had more than our share. And we're even overcoming it right now. And so if we could ever get our program built up where we can sustain a few injuries here or there and still put a good product out there, then we can win. And so right now it's no change from a week ago. I just want to see how good we can get this football team to be after our 5th game. And then we have a bye week, and then we have 7 conference games. So that's my biggest goal, is just to see how good we can be and get some of these young guys so that they can contribute some and give us added depth.
All right, Coach. Well, we're looking forward to this Saturday's matchup at Lafayette, and we'll talk to you again next week. Folks, you have been watching the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm. We appreciate you taking the time. The Colonels coming off a huge win against Western Michigan this past Saturday. We will be in Lafayette this Saturday, 6 p.m. It's on ESPN3 and on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. We'll talk to you again here on the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm next Thursday afternoon.
The Charlie Stubbs Show has been presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.